Welcome to the latest edition of the We Believe Players podcast. I am the director and co-founder of the We Believe Network, Austin Bolton, and I will be your host today. Thank you all so much for subscribing to our community. Your subscriptions make today's appearance possible. And joining us today is Lewis Brown IV. He is a wide receiver from Long Beach, California, and just transferred to us from Colorado State. So, Lewis, how's it going so far? How's your journey at State? I know it's been like a week and a half, but how's your time been in San Diego?
Oh man, it's been awesome. Since I first got out here on my visit, I got the experience to, go check out a lot of places around downtown San Diego and, the campus and the facilities. And, I just think that is, just it looks good. I'm just excited to be here. You got good people here. It's a good environment. And I'm just ready to get things rolling in this environment.
Let me tell you, my family's from Laramie, Wyoming, so we always drive through Fort Collins. Fort
Yeah.
Collins is nice, but San Diego's a little different.
Yes. Fort Collins is a small little town, but it's still good people up there also too.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of campus been so far?
Favorite part? I definitely say where the Aztec Lanes is. You
Oh,
know,
nice.
when I was in there, the bowling alley in there just it looks amazing, and you go there and hang out, chill, friends or a couple of football players, teammates, and just it's a cool vibe to get to know each other and hang out. So I definitely say the Aztec Lanes.
This is gonna date me, but that the bowling alley has always been the Aztec Lane's always been there. But my class back in 2007 actually voted to demolish the old Aztec Lanes to build the new Aztec Lanes, and I actually never got to use it. But I
Yeah,
I
it's
I, I,
definitely.
it's so much nice. I can't even like tell you how much different it is and how much nicer it is now. But we don't have to get too much into that. So I'm not usually on these to look back too much, but I do have to ask you because in the just apex of the Coach Prime thing, when you were at Colorado State, you guys went to double overtime with them, and you personally had a monster game with 10 catches, 131 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because that was such a cultural moment in college football. Like, what was that like for you? What was that game like? I'm just curious to know. Just was it as wild as it seemed like it was on TV?
Uh, yeah. The animosity was definitely up there. Leading up to the game. We had the mindset like we need to prepare the right way and we need to stick together as a team to to go get the job done and do what we have to do. So when game day come, we just knew what time it was. We had to lock in, and we knew that game meant everything to us. And we was going to do everything we can to put our sacrifice. What are we willing to sacrifice? Our body. A play that you have to make. Just having that mindset to go out and dominate. And it's a rival game, so that also built up the animosity, and we were just super excited to be on that field and just to show the world what we're actually capable of. Because there was a lot of people that was rooting against us, and we wanted to not only prove them wrong, but prove to ourselves that we are who we say we are. And man, I know we didn't come out with the victory, but that game was a definitely fun game, and the atmosphere. When it's moments like that, you gotta love it. And I was in a moment, and I was in a different mode to where I'm locked in, I'm ready to go. So when you got an atmosphere like that, you got to perform. You're on a big stage, and you just got to do what you got to do. So that
Did,
game,
did you
that game,
feel like they talk about with like elite athletes the zone? Were you like in the zone where you just like it didn't matter what you were doing, you were just dominating, and you just like it was just so in the moment that it's almost hard to describe.
mhm. Well, technically, yeah, but I visualized it day before games, or what I'm gonna do on that field or how I'm gonna perform, and I I definitely performed to my expectations. I feel like I had more in me. I could have done more, to bring it close or help us come out with the victory. But I was just in a different mode to go out there and dominate and try to do as much as I can.
Hey man, you did. And just I mean it's just I mean that was such a thing in college football. I had to ask about it. But let's move forward. Your time here, it's you're coming in to San Diego State. You obviously just transferred from Colorado State. We just talked about that. What's the difference in the recruiting process when you're getting recruited as a transfer opposed to when you got recruited out of high school? Like, what's the differences there? Is there a lot of difference? Big, small difference? What's that like?
Um, I'll say the difference is, you know, when you're coming out of high school and you're getting recruited, it's like I think the stars play a role when you come out of high school because everybody looking at, the 4 and 5 stars and everything like that. But when I say when you're transferring from a school, I feel like coaches look more into the transfer portal guys, the guys that they know what it takes, to be great, or guys that already have experience and they already know that they are a little bit developed, but they can be, more developed as in a high school player where they come in and fresh and have to learn, a lot of things. And it might be a little difficult sometimes or tough, but I feel like it's not really that much of a difference, but it's a little bit.
Does the tape help that much? Like coming out, if you're at a D1 school in the Mountain West, the tape has to make some sort of a difference opposed to just whatever you're doing in high school.
Yeah, so from the tape standpoint, high school tape and, I'll say the transfer tape, or, you know, it's kind of, I don't know how to say it. Like it's a little bit balanced, or some coaches it might be a high school guy that has a bigger name than the transfer guy, and coaches might lean more of looking into that guy instead of the transfer guy, because he have the bigger name, and he just have more stars than the other guy that was coming out of high school or whatever. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
I got you. I get what you're saying. All right. So why San Diego State? What made you decide to come down to the Mesa?
So when I came here on my visit, I knew Coach Lewis, Coach Sampson, the rest of the other staff. You know, when I got here, I just felt the connection. Like I just felt loyalty, within the coaches. I felt like I was able to, just help Coach Lewis and this offense. I'll be a good fit for this offense and to get things rolling. And, my experience on my visit, it just felt like home, because I'm from Los Angeles, California, and it's like 2 hours away. But, it just felt like home to me. And, I wanted to be a part of this. We were building, we got weapons and pieces that we also adding. And I feel like this team will be definitely something special, when the season comes. And I definitely want to be a part of that. And that's why I chose, because the relationship with the coaches and, I can get the ball rolling over here as well.
How much does it mean to you to play so close to home?
Uh, it it doesn't mean that much to me. I don't really care. Long as I know I'm in a good fit, I can perform to my best ability and, get the help I need. And I definitely feel like Coach Lewis and Coach Sampson, they can help me get to where I need to get to, and definitely bring out the full potential of me.
Hey, let me tell you, we're glad you stayed close to home. I'm glad you stayed close to home. So we got that, and you guys are going to have that place rocking come the fall. But, growing up in LA, you got SC here in town, you got UCLA. How much did you pay attention to San Diego State football growing up?
It wasn't that much, but I definitely knew of San Diego State. Growing up, I was actually an Oregon fan. I was an Oregon Ducks fan. Because I just loved Anthony Thomas and Marcus Mariota. So I was loving the Oregon Ducks and stuff like that, like the bigger schools. But so
Eh,
I paid attention to a little bit of San Diego State, but not as much.
Let me tell you, what Coach Lewis is promising to run now compared to what when you were growing up to San Diego State, it's going to look much closer to Oregon than it has the last 10 years. So I think you're going to fit in just fine. And it's going to look great.
Definitely.
What do you love about playing wide receiver? What is it
Uh,
about the position?
to be honest, I just love catching a rock and going to go score. You know, growing up, I just always had good hands, to where I can go high point, make contested catches, amazing grabs to where there's two hands or one hands, and running routes, just getting open for my QB to get me the ball, I just love having a relationship with my quarterback, the whole offense, and I just feel like I'm a playmaker and I can, score whenever I get the chance to. And receiver, I just, just love scoring touchdowns and, celebrating with my team, celebrating with the guys afterwards. I just let them own it.
What's your favorite route to run?
Favorite route, I definitely say I probably say a curl, because I might sell the DB like I'm going vertical on the 9 route and come right back down to the bar, and he might be flowing somewhere else, and so I definitely say a curl route for sure.
How much do you enjoy when you do that curl on your face and you square the guy and you square up the defender and just putting on just a huge crossover with your feet and getting him out of position and blowing by him? What is that part of it for you when you run a curl route, or is it just the basic mechanics of the route running?
So it's kind of basic mechanics, but also being able to sell the route. When you're coming off the line, you want to sell everything like you're coming off as a 9 route, the vertical. So if you're not getting that DB to bag up or, make sure he getting out his break, then you're not selling that route hard enough and, snapping down, having your shoulders over your knees to really sell the route and, just come back to the ball, just so yeah, I definitely, a little sauce to the curl route.
Nice.
Get
I
that.
like that. How's the training been so far? Have you I know you guys are doing winter conditioning. How's that going? Have you been able to get any throw in with some of the quarterbacks on the team? How's it just acclimating into the football program going for you?
So I actually just got cleared yesterday to start working out with the team. So um, today, my second day just being back, I'm really excited to get back. I feel like I want to get my money as much as these guys getting their money, whether it's on the field or in the weight room. And I'm just excited to, be with the team and work out with them. And as far as, getting some catches, it definitely been catching with AJ and Kyle and Danny. So start to get a little connection early, so we can, get things going when it's time. And spring balls, it's probably gonna come faster than we think. So we can have everything on timing.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it always goes, man. It's just it flies by, but I'm glad you're getting glad you're getting the time. I'm sure it's nice to start getting some reps with those guys, and it'll pay off. So one of the things you talk about curl being one of your favorite routes to run. Who are some guys that you model your game after? Some pros that you look up to when you watch tape, be like, all right, like I can take from that, I can take a little bit from that, and create your own bag.
Uh, well, my favorite receiver always been Julio Jones. That guy, he can run every route in a route tree. He can sell every route, hands, speed. That definitely been my receiver growing up, and definitely still my receiver now. But far as playing, well, he's still in the league now. But far as guys, I say Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, um, a little bit of CeeDee Lamb, a lot of guys that can create separation and get open for their quarterback, and I definitely feel like I have that in my game as well, and whether it's a deep ball or short route or, medium, those guys can get open whenever, and they got the ability to, when they're in a position to make a big play, they're going to make that big play. And I feel like I am that as well.
Let me tell you, it sounds like a bunch of guys that are like the best route runners there are out there, and there's a lot of touchdowns in those guys. So if that's who you're looking up to, I think Aztec fans are going to be super excited to hear that. We talked about the Aztecs offense transforming, and it's going to look a lot more like Oregon than old school Michigan. But talk about some of the nuances in the offense that you're excited about, and that what Coach Lewis sold you on during the recruiting process.
So our offense, we had to meet him about this. We're going to have a gun spread offense. We're going to throw the ball. So also we're going to run the ball too. But as far as having a spread offense, we're going to put the ball in the air. Probably 80% of the chance and running the ball. So I definitely feel like I fit in this offense. To have the ball in the air and just be one of the guys that they can trust. And I would want my teammates to trust me to go make a play when the ball is in the air. So definitely been in that gun spread offense. I definitely feel like that fit me and fit our offense as well. With the quarterbacks and weapons receivers we have. And I definitely feel like that's good offense, good fit for us.
It could be any level of football, Pop Warner, high school, whatever. It's the favorite play you've ever made.
Favorite play I ever made. Uh, Made a lot of those before, but
I'm sure the encyclopedia of them is deep, but is there one that sticks out just that you made in your career?
I'll probably say when I scored on Colorado against Dion. You know,
Nice.
man, just looking back, you know, I had like it was like a little switch route where I go in, then I bend it up to like a vertical, and the quarterback, he just threw a dart, and I was just right there, and I just had to make the play, So I feel like making that play and then doing the Dion and Shador celebration afterwards, it just felt great to do that, and make that play.
I can tell how much it means to you because I'm fired up listening to you talk about it. Because you could just the smile is awesome, man. I can't wait for you to do that at Snapdragon. Like it's gonna go off. Our student, I don't know if you've seen, if you've been in the stadium, but the students go right up to the back of the north end zone, and you'll when you score, you're gonna be able to run up right up to them, and it's
Oh,
gonna be
Snapdragon Stadium is going to be lit for sure.
yeah, man.
I,
How much did you like the tunnel that you guys get to walk out of with all the fans right there? Did you get to walk
oh,
through that?
I definitely see it, and it's amazing. It's wonderful. When I was on my visit, taking the photos or whatever, we get to see the tunnel we walked out of, and it just looked beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, you can see like the whole stadium, and coming out, we have the lights, like the red and black lights, on the side where you take the pictures and videos at, and coming out of that, that's gonna fire us up. I can definitely see that.
Let me
But
tell you. So my season tickets are by there, and we it's our favorite part of the game day experience. It's so fun, and everybody's so fired up. It's as good as it seems. So I'm excited that you get to do it.
for
All
sure.
right, I just want to transition a little bit, just outside of football. What are some of the other hobbies you like to do, man? What's the other thing? If you're just like, all right, I'm gonna reset my brain. I'm gonna do something else today. What's your favorite hobby?
Favorite hobby, I definitely say playing video games. Playing video games, Madden, 2K, Fortnite, COD. I feel like it's just, calm me, relax my mind, relax my body, just to get away from football a little bit, and, just to have something to do on the side. If
So
I'm not
what's your build in 2K? I know you
my
got
build,
a,
I got a little 3 level score, so
all right. All right, that's what I run with too is a 3 level score. So I'm with it, man, because you can do a little bit of everything. You can play the 4, you can
yeah,
go up to the 2.
yeah, you got a little Kevin Durant build, look.
I did I tried to do a Giannis, but with more 3-point shooting, and that guy was like the filthiest guy I built. It took me probably 10 tries in the test lab, but like that
Yeah,
was
I know guys hate you on the game for that.
oh
You can't
man.
on the game or in real life, so I know you're toxic on 2K.
Oh, it's in my brain when I play pickup. I'm all right, but then I can actually put it on 2K, and I mean I've also been playing my whole life, but it's a good time. I'm terrible at those other games though. Like once I on Fortnite, once I actually won one, I was like, I'm out. I'm retired. Like took me like 150 tries. Like I'm out of this. So
Yeah,
uh,
guys on Fortnite is becoming more try hard, and they just love that so
let me tell
much.
you, as a 36-year-old who gets his ass kicked by a bunch of 13-year-olds in Fortnite, it's a very demoralizing situation when you got a bunch of kids yapping in your ear. But
Right,
I'm gonna
right.
get off my lawn there anyways. So growing up, man, did you play any other sports? You play basketball? Did you play any other sports growing up?
So basketball was my second sport. I played basketball, I believe, when I was 13, and when football season was done, I go to basketball season, and up until high school, it was football and basketball, and once I got to college, strictly football, and take my career to the next level with that. So
How old were you when you could first dunk?
first dunk, oh, I was like 16.
All right,
Yeah, I was
nice.
like,
That's
I
clean.
don't know why it takes so long because now it's also getting my growth spurt, get taller and everything. But 16, I was able to get my first dunk.
Nice. All right, so football playing days are over. You've had a long career in the NFL. Won a couple Super Bowls. what are you doing professionally? What are you doing after football's over and all that kind of stuff? What are you into?
Uh, I feel like I want to get into coaching. You know, coach the youth, coach the younger guys. I feel like I'll be able to install as much as I know into them. Especially younger kids where I came from. Just to keep them on the right track and just get them as much as motivation as I can and help them to the best of my ability. And also, probably podcasts, with the guys, talking about sports or players and, just diving into things like that. So I definitely say, coaching and, doing podcasts, definitely be something I look forward to after my career is over with.
All right. What are you majoring in?
Right now I'm majoring in social science, but I do want to get back into communications major.
All right. So you're on the road, you got curfew or whatever. What are you throwing on Netflix to just relax your mind before lights out?
Uh Netflix, what am I throwing on?
Or are you just playing video games? Like what are you doing? Is it a video game thing there? Or do you have like a show on Netflix or whatever it is, Hulu, whatever streamer? Like what do you get? What do you
Uh
got?
Sometimes I throw on some YouTube, watch a couple highlights, football highlights, whether it's some college athletes or, a couple NFL best plays of the season, or if I do hop on Netflix, probably find me a little thriller movie or a show, probably, All American or Coach Snoop. I love watching football shows on Netflix, so I definitely say one of them.
When you watch All American, and how long does it take you? Is it 1 second or 5 seconds before you realize that those guys don't play any sports ever?
1 second.
As I say, if
One,
I could tell, you could definitely tell. And my wife loves All American. I'm like, that guy's never thrown a football in his life.
yeah, you can tell immediately, like off rip, for sure.
All right, man. When you get a chance to go back to LA, what's the one thing you look most forward to?
Um, Seeing my family, just every time I get away from my family, I miss them. Sometimes I get homesick, but I know they want me to, wherever I go, just perform, be you, do the best you can, wherever you go. And, I know they miss me as much as I miss them. And so I say, my family, my brothers back at home, whenever I'm out there with them, it's always a good time, fun times when I'm with them. So whenever I leave from them, they miss me as well. So definitely seeing family members.
They ready to come down to some games this year? I mean, that's only 2 hours. They gonna make their way down to Snapdragon?
For sure. They already told me they at every home game. I got
Nice.
the tickets ready.
Nice. Well, we're excited to have them, man. It's gonna be a great season. So the last thing, and you may not have an answer to this because you're so new, but there's two taco shops on campus, Pancho's and Trujillo's. Have you formed an opinion on that? Have you been to either one? What's your go-to? Or
So
what have you gotten so far?
I got wings and things so far. I actually was going to get to Ponchos because my roommate, he's from San Diego, and he said I definitely need to try it out. So I need to get to them.
All right.
Um, it's a couple of other places I
Hey, Wings
tried.
and Things is classic too, man. That's been around forever.
Yeah, yeah. Main chick, chicken tenders, chicken sandwiches, and fries. Definitely recommend. And there was a couple other places, but I just forgot the name
Nah,
of
man,
it.
no, it's good, man. I'm glad you're getting into the food culture because there's some good food in San Diego. So all right,
Definitely.
man. All right, man. Well, that's all I got. I just want to thank everybody for joining, this latest edition of the We Believe podcast. Louis, thanks so much for joining us. Again, thank you to the subscribers. If you like what you're seeing, tell your friends because those subscription dollars go towards making NIL content like this possible. But until next time, go Aztecs.